What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today is Sunday, actually. I meant to do part 2 of the Q&A yesterday, but we had a little bit of an emergency and it took the whole day, so I didn't get the chance to do that, but here we are, Sunday. Anyway, today I am wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2, commonly known as the Batgirl. Either way, we do the Q&A once a week, every Friday generally, but the last couple of weeks I've had a lot of questions, so I'm doing it in 2 parts. And so if you'd like to be featured on upcoming Q&A, all you have to do is leave your question in the comment section below, and we'll go ahead and add it to one of the Q&As. So I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I love interacting, and you guys interact with each other. It's cool. I want to give a shout out to I'm sponsoring myself on this channel, to everyone who's purchased my art. I really appreciate it. I've gotten an overwhelming response. So for any of those interested in original watch art, I have a character. His name's Jean-Claude, and he's the protector. And it's just, I have it on Instagram. I also have it on bigcartel.com or tonygamble.bigcartel.com, but most of those pieces are all sold out now. So everything's on my Instagram page as of right now, which would be Tony Gamble _artist on Instagram. I'll put a link if you're interested. Just hit me up, DM me, whatever. Just shoot me an email, and I'll show you what I have. I do acrylics, 9x12. I do watercolors, and I also do colored pencil. And so just want to give a shout out to Oscar Lopez, him and his family. They purchased like 4 pieces from me. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Couple other people, Michael DeMarco has got a piece. Also, my buddy Lincoln Parrish bought a piece, and then other people that don't need to mention their names, but I appreciate it. So if you guys want to check out my art, please do so. There's not a lot of watch art out there, you know, so I'm just trying to do something a little bit different with Jean-Claude, and you know, and I put little quotes. The ones that are in colored pencil are little quotes and things like that. So anyway, check it out. Anyway, let's get to the Q&A. All right, so first question comes from CV Fenn, F-E-N-N. Great Q&A part 2, Tony. Thanks. This is another part 2. You are spoiling us this weekend, as this weekend. Thanks, you guys. Do you have a preference between the type of strap bracelet material to wear on your watches? That depends on the watch, man. Like, for instance, Rolex, this is on the Jubilee. It will always stay on the Jubilee. If it's the Oyster, it's going to stay on the Oyster. Depending on the watch, you know, like Cartier Santos, I have alligator strap on it. And then with some other watches, I have rubber straps. So it just depends on the watch. So, you know, I don't have one that I use for every watch. It's all different. And I've got a big bag of straps that I choose from if I want to change the straps. So thanks for your question, man. ER-ME1II. Hey, man, your opinion on Rolex OP or Datejust on a 7-inch wrist, 36 millimeter or 41? It's up to you, man. Go try them on. You know, for a 7-inch wrist, I mean, it depends on also what's in your collection. You know, what's the size of the other watches you have. You know, if you're, you know, some people have, you know, 8-inch wrists that still wear 36 millimeters because that's classic. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, on a 7-inch wrist, you can get away with either of them. You know, so my suggestion is just go into the AD, try them on, see what works for you. Ask people at the AD what they think, what works for you. This is a 40 millimeter, you know, and I generally wear 36 on the Datejust Sando piece. So, but yeah, I mean, wish you the best. Just try them on, man. It's all you know, just me giving you an opinion is not going to really do much, but I appreciate it and good luck, dude. Next, Chrono Sport Mike. What's up, Mike? Hey, Tony, great video as always, and happy Friday. Well, happy Sunday. I've recently came across the brand Formex watches, and I'm learning a bit about their history and how their watches are very much progressive from an engineering standpoint. I really like their bracelet and dial design, micro adjustments, and toolless bracelet swapping system. Yes, it's a Kosk Sellita movement, but that's not a strike at the price point in my opinion. I'm curious to get your thoughts. I think the Essence line is very appealing, and if you've ever seen one in the flesh. Thanks, and enjoy the weekend. Thanks, man. I know Formex. I've never held one or seen one in person. Um, I just checked them out. I mean, I prefer them on the leather strap, but you know, COSC certified Sellita, that's fine because Sellita, they make, you know, third party, their aftermarket, you know, a third party movement company, and Sellita have different levels of their movements. So you can have a Sellita SW 200, for instance, at an entry price, which whatever that may be, all the way up to their decorated movements, and then up to a COSC certified movement. And generally, watches with Sellita movements in it are around the $2,000-3,000 range, depending, and even less depending. But yeah, so no strike against them for that either. But I think they're nice looking. I mean, I wouldn't buy one, but you're looking at their price point. I know on the bracelet it's about 16 or 1700 bucks. On the bracelet, like 1800, I think, something like that. They look nice, you know. Nothing really stands out about them for me, but I don't know enough about them. So, but thanks, man. Appreciate it. W Gravely 5290. Hey, Tony, great video as always. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Question for next week. How do you feel about titanium watches? That new Cartier Santos de Cartier in titanium looks like it could be a great sport watch. And the bezel is brushed. Yes, it is. I have a titanium Timex. Generally, I'm not a huge fan. I just, for the coloring aspect of it. But for the Santos, because the Santos is such a scratch magnet, plus they're lighter, you know, they don't carry a whole lot of weight. So that's good. And one of the biggest problems with the Santos is, yes, it is a scratch magnet. You look at that thing the wrong way and it goes, oh, I'm going to scratch, you know? So, so I think it's a great idea. I haven't seen the watch in person, but I'm sure I will next time I get over to Bindi, so I can try one on and just take a look at it. And of course, that would be a selling point, knowing that it's got a brushed bezel. I do like the polish though, you know what I mean? I don't like the way they scratch, but my Santos Dumont has a little thinner bezel and it's been pretty good. I've had that watch now for a little while and I don't have any scratches on it. So, but I'm pretty careful with my watches. So yeah, I got no beef against titanium. I think titanium's kind of cool. Generally don't like the color so much, the way that the color is a titanium, but you know, but yeah, can't wait to check out the Cartier Santos though. Thanks for your question, man. This next one from Steven Esh1, and it cuts off. Sorry, man. Tony, keep up the good work. Thank you, man. When shopping for a watch, how much weight do you put on the dial aesthetic versus movement? I ask because I bought into the in-house versus non-in-house movement thing for a bit. But longer I have collected watches, the more I realize once I put the watch on, the only thing I care about is how it looks on my wrist and how it feels. Perhaps as time goes on, I'll start focusing on the nuances like movements and such. But right now I'm going in the opposite direction. Cool. Yeah. I mean, to each their own, you know what I mean? It depends. I mean, obviously the watch has to look good. I'm not going to buy a watch just because it has a specific movement in it. I don't care. I mean, but then at the same time, I want, like, for instance, to go back to the Cartier, the Santos, the dual time, it's got a Sellita movement in it and it's a $9,000 watch. I wouldn't buy that watch because of that. I mean, I think with, you know, their in-house capabilities, that's what they should have done. And I've gotten some flack on that in the past because I've talked about that watch, but whatever. It's my opinion, and my thought is that generally I don't really care too much what kind of movements in it. I mean, to a certain extent. And I'll always go with aesthetic over just because it has a movement. I have a Cartier Pasha that I freaking love. I love the aesthetic of it, but it does have a Gerard Perregaux movement in it, and it's freaking awesome. You know what I mean? I love that. Then I have another Pasha, which has got the MC 1847 or 1847 MC. And then, you know, depending on what watch it is and what movement, you know, I do like in-house movements as well, but certain watches I don't care if they have an ETA or a Sellita or a Ronda if it's quartz. So yeah, but aesthetically it has to look good, right? Yeah. Thanks for your question, man. Stuntman Joni. Hola, Tony. I love every episode. Thanks, man. I love that you love every episode. I've been looking at a Rolex 1908 in gold, light dial with leather strap. I feel like no one talks about that model. Is it just too classic for most people? What are your thoughts on that model? Is it worth the retail price tag? Well, first and foremost, it absolutely is worth the price tag as far as I'm concerned. Um, yeah, I love that watch. You know, I mean, on my last Q&A, I just did it on a question on the Cellini line, you know, and I like the Cellini line. You know, you're looking at the 1908 is a 39 millimeter case, classic. I mean, the variation that I like is the titanium with the ice blue dial. I think that watch is sick, but you know, but it's $31,500. But for titanium, that's, I mean, sorry, not titanium, platinum is amazing, I think. And then what is it, 23,500 for the gold? Um, I don't usually like yellow gold, but I would pick up the yellow gold with the white dial as well as the white dial with the white gold. You know, so I do like that watch. I do like that line. I don't think it's overpriced. You look at a Calatrava, you know, at $35,000, and Rolex, you know, I mean, you put the two together, you know, and I know I'll get comments like, "Well, you can't even compare Rolex to Patek Philippe." Yeah, you can. Um, as far as the materials and the timekeeping on it, you know, I know Patek's got, you know, the history, a lot of history, and they're known for, you know, what they're known for. It's all good, I know, but yeah, I think at the price point, for sure, it's definitely worth it, and they're beautiful watches, and I would pick one up. I would. Um, but there's other watches I'd get before I'd pick one of those up. So, you know, I'd probably get the Blancpain Villeray before I'd get the 1908. But that being said, thanks for your question, man. Next one, Alexander Sazonov 4. Hello, Tony. Happy Friday. Quick question: how do you clean your watches? Since different ones have different water resistance, are you using any special cleaning kits or just soap and water? Thanks in advance. I don't really ever clean my watches, man. If I want to get this thing cleaned, I just take it to Bindi and they put it in the steam cleaner and it gets steam cleaned. Something like my Santos, you know, I mean, I just have a polishing cloth and I just, not like I'm polishing it, but I'm just wiping it clean after I wear it. That way I don't build up gook on it and whatever that aspect. But if I was to take that watch and clean it, you know, you can just dampen it with a toothbrush and some soap and then brush it. You don't have to submerge the watch in water, you know what I mean? It's kind of, you know, or you don't even have to hold it under the faucet either. Just get a glass with some water and some soap and then do it that way. And then rinse it off the same with clean water and then dry it off. You should be all right. Thanks, man. Frank Capolino. What's up, Frank? Hello, Tony. What do you think about Bovet watches? Bovet they're classic. I mean, they're like pieces of art, you know? I mean, that you can wear on your wrist. They also turn into like pocket watches or desk watches. You can put, they've been around what, over 200 years, you know? And they're extremely expensive and they're very well decorated and they're very well made. They're not that popular, but they're, to me, like the epitome. If you were a real true watch connoisseur and you just want something different, get a Bovet. On the secondary market, I think they're a lot less expensive, of course, because they're not, you know, hype watches, but they're beautiful watches. For me, it would be one of those watches, like, depending on which one I get, would probably just be in a glass case and I would just admire it as like a piece of art as opposed to something I would actually wear, because I wouldn't ever wear one of those. But I think they're beautiful. So thanks, man. Sean Miller 7187. What's up, Sean? With such incredible advances in computer-aided design, materials, science, and CNC machine precision, do you think we will ever see a day where mechanical movements will be on par with quartz accuracy? No, I don't. And I think, you know, the thing is that, you know, when it comes to like true horology and watchmaking, you know, there are inconsistencies in time, or there's +2, -2, plus whatever, and cost certified. You got silicone balance wheels, you got tourbillons, things like that. And they're getting better, but at the same time, it's like, I think if you're going to really kind of go in that direction, the only company that's been able to do anything close is Grand Seiko with their spring drive movements. You know what I mean? So they take the best of quartz and they take, you know, with the rotor, and it's automatic, you know, and those are 20 seconds per year, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I mean, Grand Seiko kind of nailed that aspect of it. But when you take the true watchmaking aspect of it, I mean, there's only so much you can do with gears, springs, and you know, balance wheels and whatever. But you know, you never know. I mean, something will come out. They're always doing advances in power reserve, right? You know, before a 42-hour power reserve was like, oh my God, it's 42 hours power reserve. You know, now you got 100-hour power reserve in some watches, you know, and so, and then some. So, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, on that note, you guys, I appreciate it. I'm talking with my hands a lot today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.